What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Oblivious Podcast, the show that has structure. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Johnson, joined as always by He Only Eats Chicken Wings, Dustin Stokes.
Hey, what's up, man?
The one and only, your boy, LaQuinza Gooby Goob Morgan.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents?
And DJ Ray Jock Hand himself, Chris Rowland.
Hello, good to be here. Nowhere else I'd rather be.
Coming up on today's show, we have the origin story of Oblivious Podcast. The who, the what, the when, the where, the why. All the information for our podcast. Also, Stokes will probably hate on something. Rage will tell us something in a slow fashion. And I'm pretty sure Jaurez will be playing a game at some point. But first...
Did you know the business?
But first, let's check in with the panel. How's it going, boys?
It's going great, my man.
Shit, just got crushed in Rocket League. You know, it's not going so bad.
We went 2 for 3. It's not that bad.
That's true.
That's way better than I would do.
I had 10 points one game, so.
I'm so bad at Rocket League. It's a good game, but man, I'm so bad at it.
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad game. It just ain't my game. But
it's a great game.
It's tough. It's tough as fuck. But, you know, that ain't my wheelhouse, so I'm going to probably stay out of it.
I used to be into Rocket League quite a bit back in the day, but
Can you take an arrow to the knee?
it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been in there, and it showed.
You gotta get the wheels back going, eh? Literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Well, how's it feeling, boys? We're here. This is Oblivious Podcast. Episode 0, episode 1. We're here for the inaugural episode. How we feeling?
Feeling great, man. How you feeling?
Fantastic.
Oh man, I'm awesome. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy we're finally doing this. We're gonna go through all the nitty gritty, but yeah, this is the jumping on point. I mean, we've been recording a little bit. We're gonna talk about that here in a second, but man, it's good to be here. I'm glad I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, it's been 15, 20 years in the making?
15, 20 years in the making. Yeah, for sure. It has been a little minute, but hopefully we'll put all that, all that time together, all that life lessons, and we'll spend time into good use here.
Oh yeah, 10 years of just getting our souls crushed playing FIFA every night. The only way we could chat together, and now we got this. Now we actually got an opportunity to actually do something with it instead of having to suffer through a video game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Well, yeah. So I mean, that's what we want to do to get today. I guess is talk about who we are and kind of what we're doing. So that's a great segue, Stokes, to kind of talk about us and kind of how we know each other. So I guess I'll kind of kick it off to give us a bit of a talking point, I guess. We're all from Mississippi, around about the Meridian areas. And yeah, we went to school together. So
except for Chris.
Except for Rage.
Okay,
We all have
right,
different. We should all just go through each of our origin stories of how we met each other.
That's
maybe.
Fine. Yeah. Well, I was just trying to say, and that's a good correction to make. We're not all from Mississippi. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida.
Just our
Rage was born
place.
in Bakersville. Yeah, but I was trying to say as far as we grew up in Mississippi. That's what we grew up in. That's what we're known for. So
Yep.
I got you.
yeah. So we all grew up around Meridian area. No, it's fine. No, it's all here. We'll get to all the details. But no, we're all grew up in Meridian, Mississippi, and that's how we know each other. I met Rage probably in 3rd or 4th grade, and we became good friends in 5th grade. I met Jaurez probably wasn't until high school. I want to say it was late high school, like junior year. I want to say we started hanging out, and then Stokes. Right. He's kind of always been around, but some of my earliest memories of him are in middle school, being behind me talking about Final Fantasy to another friend of ours, JT. So that's kind of, I guess, my side of it. Any of you guys can kind of jump in and I guess give more details or kind of correct me about some of that stuff.
Yeah, I moved to Mississippi when I was 6 or 7 years old from Bakersfield, California. And Jay, did you say where you came from?
Yeah, Jacksonville, Florida. I came here in Mississippi.
But before
probably,
that, though.
Okay, well, before that, he
was a professional child soccer player.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going with that. Yeah, so professional child soccer player in Italy.
Yes.
Way back when I was a kid. That's not true at all, but it's some kind of a story.
Photographic evidence to prove it.
You're not wrong. There is photographic me looking real nice.
Tier at some point.
And my kid, We won the participation trophy that year. I'll never forget that. I was a little kid, but I do remember going to the bank with my mom. I was probably like 3 years old or some bullshit like that. And my coach like stopping me and like giving us his trophy. And it was a little trash trophy, but I still have it. So there's that.
But the point of that story is, Dennis, when you first told me that story, the wee young naive lad that I was.
Yes, you believed me.
I believed it for a good amount of time. I was like, oh, he tight. Oh shit, he from Italy. Okay, must have been in. But okay, and then I saw you play soccer, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Oh damn, they just shut it down.
It's all rules.
But you know, he had me
He's
going
not
there
wrong.
for a while. He had me going there for a while. But yeah, so I remember. I don't actually remember meeting. I mean, I guess I faintly remember meeting in like elementary school. I know we were still in school at the same time, but yeah, 5th grade, 6th grade was like when me and Dennis started becoming best friends. And Stokes as well. I guess like Stokes would have met me before everyone else. Me and Stokes go pretty far back as well to putting together paintball fields. And,
no. We go back further than that.
I mean,
we were doing,
okay,
we were doing theater, baby.
MLT, Meridian Little Theater. You're right. We were
Get
much
the
younger.
fuck out of
much
here. You
younger
guys
at
are
that
some
point.
goddamn nerds.
Couple thespians.
Yes. So in high school, in Meridian and county schools, they don't have a theater program per high school because let's be honest, right? Nobody can afford that.
No money at all.
And so what they did, and I think still do, maybe I'm not sure.
They still do.
Yeah, but it's just like an MCC now, I think, right? It's not at Meridian Little Theater, I think, is what the deal is. Anyways,
I couldn't tell you.
not important for our viewers. But yeah, so they had one play a year, usually like an Aladdin or like a Wizard of Oz type play where they, you know, all the kids from all the 5 area schools could try out and do one play a year. So that was your theater if you wanted it, if you could get in. But the best part about it, and the reason me and Stokes I think will agree we tried out, was not for the arts. It was for the video games and the missing school.
Absolutely.
So because you could get out of school for a week, you do 4 shows a day, and we would just get like the chorus parts, just the least speaking lines. We got like a song to come back up, and then we go back to the green room and play some NES or Super Nintendo and just eat a lot of snacks and chill all day. So
it's literally
that was like
play video
is that
games.
the origination of our relationship, Stokes? Is that like really kind of the beginning?
I think so. I think that's where we met.
Be.
And then you know, just like being in school about a grade apart for years after that.
And then it grew, and then once we got a little older, we got into paintball and whatnot. Well, Stokes, I believe, got me into paintball, and then I grew up on a lot of land. Yeah, Jay got out.
Jay
there.
forced me to get my little blade, my little blue blade pump. So trash.
So you can see all the different and that's when me and Stokes were friends then, and obviously we kind of all knew each other, went to the same school. And then, same for me, Goob, in high school, and more so for me. We got really close in college once I moved back to Mississippi from Indiana. I knew Goob in high school, but we didn't get close until college, I would say. But yeah, man, I think the origination of this is just the fact that after college, and maybe not so much Stokes, because Stokes wasn't at Starkville around the same time we were. Correct? Were you in Starkville at any point, Stokes?
Yeah, no,
my memory is not great.
I finished an undergrad at State.
But were we in school at the same time?
Yeah, because remember you and I came over there and we recorded some music together when I was living in Starkville.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep. So we were all at some point in
beginnings.
Starkville, Mississippi together. Yeah. And me, Jay, and Goob, we were roommates for years and years and years. And then me and Goob after that. So, but eventually we all went our separate ways. Dennis now resides in the greater Chicago area.
Chicagoland, stand up. What up?
I am based back in this place of origin in Meridian these days.
Sin City.
Goob in the capital city, Jackson, and Stokes up in Memphis. So, we all just kind of went our separate ways. But the group chat and more specifically the video games and whatnot, that's kind of how we maintained our relationship years and years and years. And so we've always talked, and the great thing about that is because we always stayed just as close as when we left. I don't think, if anything, it just got closer and closer, and it was always a priority to all of us to, spend time with each other in that way. And so we
spend way too much time talking to each other over
exactly, about everything, about all the monotonous things or the topics of the day or video games, and we all have our different interests and stuff. And so we'd always just talked about for, I mean, especially just for the fun of it and to talk together to do a podcast or just make something together, I think is to put it simply, is something we've always wanted to do. So I think now we're doing that. And what this kind of turns into is just going to be kind of what we want. And we're, I guess, excited to be doing it.
Yeah, okay. Well, here, don't jump too far ahead of me just yet. Whereas you speak with me a little bit because I want to get your mouth, like where you can come in and all this, because I put you towards the back end of it, but do you remember us before, like, before later high school or anything like that?
No.
No? Because you've been in Northeast as long as we have, but it's weird.
I hang out with a different crowd before then, but I remember was it 11th? Is it 11th grade? I know I had a class with Chris. It was algebra or was it trig? It was one.
You had Miss Spencer with them, yeah? You
guys we had Miss Spencer together. That's when we started being friends then. But like I said, when he came back and we went to college, that's when we became much better friends. Jay, I really don't even remember, bro. I just kind of feel like we just became friends one day.
Wait, do you not remember how me and you hung out? Because I kind of remember.
I remember play. You know what? I remember it being. I remember we used to play a lot of video games. But that ain't really changed in 10 years. So
yeah, you're not wrong.
I remember playing Rock Band in my house.
I don't know how it happened, but you invited me over, and the first thing we played was me, you, and Mark Page played Halo 2.
That's what it was, and how all them damn Ethernet cables run through the damn living room.
Yeah, because we were back in the back room over there in your place in Tumsuba on Ass Road.
Not happy about that.
And me and you and him were piled up in there. Yeah. I remember I was handing out the L's to both of y'all, but it was cool.
You're not wrong. I mean,
it was cool seeing.
Just Halo don't require a lot of skill to be good at. So
okay, yeah, all right.
It's probably like one of them like the skill level tiers at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Really. And outside of that, I can't remember Stokes. I don't even remember how I remember.
I've known you since elementary school, man. You had the braids back then.
We've been going way back, man. Like 4 flats on a Cadillac, man. Because we was in the same class.
Yeah.
And then you moved school because you was too cool to hang out with the public school kids.
That's not at all what happened. I was getting mixed up in the wrong crowd, and at the time, I kind of questioned it as well. I was like, why are my parents really moving me? But in hindsight, like literally everybody I was hanging out with either ended up in jail or something similar, something worse. Maybe they weren't the wrong.
Now.
But no, we've known each other since elementary, at least in some level. And I guess for me, kind of like everybody else, kind of met Rage through MLT, kind of met Jay through Rage, and then kind of knew Goob throughout. But we kind of, whenever I changed schools, I didn't really see you guys again until college. I came over to record some music with Rage, and kind of got reintroduced to all of y'all, and we started playing games pretty much from then on.
Yeah, that was so cool to have that reunion, because it was like oh shit, Stokes, and that's kind of my memory. It's like you just kind of always been around, and that was kind of cool. I don't know, man. It's funny talking to people, especially how much we do keep up with each other, especially talking to my wife Jesse. It's like I don't know, a lot of people don't have that connection and be able to talk to friends like that, especially people that they've known for years. It's like they got their work friends, or they got their friends that they've made whatever place they've moved.
I hate work friends, man.
I do too.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. Just like
I think that's
especially when all they talk about is work. It's like, bro, like we are not there anymore. Like, please stop talking about it,
bro.
Yeah.
Like, stop, or just like let's hang out afterward. I'm like, well, not really. So sorry.
Been hanging out with you for 8 hours, man.
Exactly. Like I hang out with you more than I hang out with like my wife or my mom. So, no thanks.
No, yeah. I always thought it was like interesting that in different walks of life, how you hear. I don't know. I'll just be like talking to you guys on the headset, or I'll show somebody something in the group chat or whatever, and they're just like, oh, I don't have friends that I can talk to that way, and I think when you have like a group of people that you're really close with that you've built almost like relationships your whole life with, that's pretty fucking special. And I'm not saying like, and if you have that, everyone that does have that is obviously you know how like nice that is to have. So I don't know. I think I don't want to speak for all of us, but I just feel like that is kind of like the vibe we want to bring to whatever we're doing. And, you know, and if we want to talk further into like growing a community of whatever this is that we're starting, you know, Oblivious is kind of in the title of, we're just kind of, you know, figuring it out as we go. But at the same time, we just want to create a space like we have kind of for ourselves, all the four of us. And if we can grow that into more people, and that'd be really cool. So,
yeah.
That's an awesome segue for us, Rage. So yeah, that's us. That's the who we are. And next up, we're kind of talk about the what this is, what Oblivious is, kind of why we want to do this. We've talked about it a little bit just now. You know, friends wanting to talk and kind of keep in touch, and then kind of putting that into content that we can put out there for the world to share. So, you know, Rage, me and you, we've been talking about this for a long time, specifically Oblivious. I mean, all of us have been talking about podcasting, but yeah, kind of talk to me a little bit about, you know, what this is for you and kind of what you wanted to do here.
Yeah, just it sounds a little weird. Just like, why would you, I guess, want record of things? But, you know, I just think to be able to start doing this now and to do this as long as we possibly can, or hopefully just do it forever, I think it'd be cool to just like, you know, all these kinds of conversations we have and all these interactions that we have, if we can just capture them and if people enjoy them as much as we do, like we're never going to make anything that we don't like. And so, yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk too much about like what our personal backgrounds are, like current day, like, you know, careers and stuff like that. But I do come from like more of a content creation background, and that's kind of what I've done in my career. And man, for me personally, there's nobody else that I'd rather work with my friends. And I think that's a pretty common feeling that people can relate to. And so, yeah, I just think, you know, we haven't talked about it yet on this episode, but obviously we're working on a Star Wars podcast right now. You know, Stokes is working on a Final Fantasy podcast, and, you know, we all have different interests, you know, with sports or games or media or just like politics. And, you know, I don't think anything's off the table of the things that we can make and do. And I'm not the only one with like a content background. You know, Dennis is a brilliant photographer.
Oh, brilliant! You flatter me.
You know, Stokes is like a really strong like music background, really talented musician. You know, Goob is really good at Destiny.
Not my financial background. I'm good at a very specific video game. Thank you.
Juarez has got some real good freehand though. Don't fool
he's
you
also a master at being an adult and finances, and pretty much the most well-adjusted individual out of all of us. So don't get it twisted.
But somehow still the craziest.
Yeah, but sometimes still the craziest. But yeah, just like to I don't know, I know it's, again, sounds weird, but just to have that all on record and to like make a record of that and to be able to look back on like a body of work that we can build together in and of itself is pretty like amazing and dope to me and something worth doing. And but obviously, you know, we're not doing this just for ourselves. I hope, and I think we all hope that some other people get stuff out of it and have a good time and find a place in this community that we want to build. You know, and I think we're very intentional about that's what we want to do. I think we're obviously inspired by tons of other, you know, content creators that we've gotten, you know, countless hours of enjoyment out of.
Right.
You know, me and Jay personally, obviously, with kind of funny being a big thing that really inspired us, and something that's like, you know, we've been listening to for quite a long time, that, you know, that Jay actually found and gave to me, and we shared together, and just kind of the way they build a community is obviously really brilliant and authentic and cool. And would be remiss to say if we weren't, you know, had a lot of inspiration from them, but all sorts of things, you know, like I said, not all of us are just me and Jay. I know Goob listens to them sometimes. I don't think Stokes does much. We all have different interests, all different things, and we all like to make stuff, and we all like to do it together. And so, yeah, hopefully some good comes out of that. And that's really kind of the point, is to to continue to foster our relationship as friends. And like, if we can do that and foster a relationship with more than just the four of us, that's I think the dream. So, and if we can do this full time and this, you know, like I said, nothing better than working with your friends. And I think that's the ultimate goal. And yeah.
Something you said there I really hung on to, and Stokes, you can help me out here in a second. You know, you said make something now, you know, that we can like build on, you know, together basically. And that's so cool to think about because, you know, we all see people doing this. I mean, podcasts, that's the thing. That's the flavor of the month, right? Everyone wants to podcast. Everyone wants to content create. Everyone wants to do this, do that. Everyone wants to work for themselves, be their own business, be their own brand.
Sure.
You know, that's kind of what we live in now in 2020 with everyone having, you know, basically a mobile studio in the back, in their pocket, right? So that's something we're kind of latching on to. But, you know, something that we're kind of bringing to the table is our friendship and just our shared life experience and just the, you know, the ease of being able to talk to you guys and just knowing that we talk constantly even more than this. Yeah, I think the best thing for this, honestly, is if we were able to have a crew just record and put out everything that we do on a daily basis instead of having to, you know, find a way to put it out ourselves. Because even that would be like even more authentic, right? Because this is an ongoing conversation. We're just always talking and talking and talking. But, you know, I know for you specifically, just kind of thinking about, you know, as a content creator saying, oh man, kind of kicking yourself for not starting this sooner or doing this before. And now kind of wanting to lay the grounds for that. And so that's what this is, right? This is us, you know, coming together, putting things on paper, putting things, you know, on tracks and actually having some kind of thing that we can, you know, build upon and make together. And I think that's going to be, you know, a beautiful thing. And how I wanted to throw it to you, Stokes, is that I know, you know, you're thinking about this 5-year plan, and that's where you're kind of coming in. It's like, hey, you know, I have goals and I want to reach those goals, and I kind of want to use this as a springboard. So yeah, kind of talk to me a little bit about, you know, because I mean, you're obviously in this too, right? Where, you know, you were always pushing us as well to make a podcast. Like, hey man, let's fucking do this shit. So, talk to me a little about, you know, what you have for me.
Well, I mean, I would like to point out that I was making YouTube videos and everything for all of us. I don't know, about 8 years ago.
Shouts out Los Mama Huevos.
Hey, rip.
I mean, I was trying to get this springboarded, you know, a long time ago. But that's okay. You know, not everybody's
slow learners out here.
Yeah. It took a minute, and that's all right. But yeah, you know, kind of the 5-year plan that you're talking about is just kind of like, I don't know, sometimes you wake up in life and you realize that, oh, you know, I'm 30 now, or I'm a little bit over 30. And you're like, I don't know, you start thinking more long term. And I guess for me, and I think for a lot of us, I obviously don't speak for everybody, but I think we kind of share, at least on some level, this, that, you know, when it comes to life, it's like, I mean, is working a 9 to 5 and just getting up and going to work every day, is that enough? You know, is that really enough for the rest of your life? Do you just wake up and go to work every day? You go home, you go to sleep, you wake up and you do it all over again, you know, for 40 years, and then you retire and that's it. You know, like to me, that's very underwhelming. And, you know, I'm in a field that I enjoy. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't call it like a direct passion or anything, but it's like a good enough thing. And I think that recently I've like woken up and been like, I want to do something, you know, like I have like a 5-year plan of being like, hey, you know, 5 years from now, I want to be doing something that I absolutely love, whether it's this or whether it's, you know, brewing beer, opening a food truck, you know, like whatever it is, man. Like I want to be doing something that just like, you know, that I'm passionate about, that I wake up every day and I look forward to, rather than, you know, going to bed and being like, God, I got to get up in the morning, you know? I just think
I agree, man.
That's like an existential dread that we all have to a degree.
I'm so glad we have this now, because like we're definitely gonna be able to look back on this, and there's definitely gonna be growth, and we're definitely gonna be doing something. So it's gonna be so cool to see, you know, how you've progressed and how we've progressed together in 5 years' time, and say, hey, look, like we did this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that for me, that's what it is. I just want to. It's really just more about just taking control of your life, man, and not just like going along with things because it's what you've been taught, and not just going along with stuff because it's, you know, easy, or it's because it's, you know, what you're supposed to do. And, you know, I would rather make significantly less money and be doing something I love rather than, you know, working 40 hours plus a week and doing something I'm like kind of blasé about, you know? Yeah. So, that's just how I feel about it though.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that, man. Yeah, I mean, it's all about being able to put out what we want to, and this gives us that opportunity, right? We have, platform. We can make a platform. I guess everyone has a voice out there nowadays that you can kind of put out there. And we want to put ours and, bring people into us and, kind of share that with them. And like Rage said, foster community and just kind of be able to,
well, hopefully like inspire as well, inspire other people to just like take a shot at whatever they might love to do or take a shot at doing something with their friends.
Yep.
Because that's sometimes you just got to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. You got to see like what's going to happen, what's going to work for you. And sometimes you really don't know until you do try. I'm glad that we're finally trying.
Right. We've already thrown out the idea that we could have done this earlier. Of course we could have, but it's just like, you just start, it's like wherever you're at, if you just start doing something. And I think we all share that. We just want to do this, and it doesn't matter. Like if we're not as young as we used to be. We're also not that old. We're 30, whatever. Like it doesn't matter where you are, in your life or what's going on. We can. We've obviously put behind the scenes a lot of work into this and stuff, and want to make sure it's right. But like Stokes texted in the group chat today, like just to want to get started, and I think that's the best thing you can do. And then everything, the more you put out and the more you work at it, the better things will get. But just to start and then don't stop.
I'm so ready to be like to give kind of almost the behind the scenes, kind of like the raw look at it, because obviously we're not professionals just doing this, but I think we do have a lot of things that puts us above, people maybe similar in our situation. Just obviously the communication that we have with each other.
Sure.
That's just the biggest thing, right? Like, we love each other. Like we really do. And we care about each other. And we want to make sure we're okay and concerned. And I think that's something that we can put out there. And as far as making the content around that, that's going to be good, because that shows people that, it's not about a budget. It's not about where you are, even like how you're doing it. It's just kind of doing it. So I really want to be able to kind of have people see that as we're kind of going, especially for our friends too, man. Because, you'll see as we go, we'll get to it kind of more in the future of Oblivious section. But I kind of want to use this as a jumping off point to even promote our friends. I mean, Allie's been, Stokes' girlfriend has been, irreplaceable and just, completely awesome, and just jumping into and helping us getting our stuff off the ground as far as digital or as far as artistic content goes, and so stuff like that. I mean, we all know people who are doing either creative works, just other kind of works for their community. So using this voice to also kind of put them up is something that I'm really passionate about. So I think we have a real good chance to do a lot of good things with this, and it's something that can really go into anything. So Jaurez, talk to me. You're not one to not have words about things. So you excited about sharing your thoughts out here and kind of getting to the grime and getting all these good.
Yeah, what's like your perspective on all this? Because I know you come from it maybe in a different way.
Well, yeah, I mean, now is we a couple of days ago, we had a little,
first meeting, as it were,
as they say in the South, come to Jesus meeting kind of thing.
Let's go.
And now I understand it fully as to what's going on. Like the way my my mind thinks is like, how can I make money from something? What's the best way to do it? What's the financially responsible way to do something? But then,
you don't want to waste time if you don't have a value like attached.
Right.
to it,
Like but like the value the value that I placed on it was a different value that y'all had placed on it. I'm saying it was like, let's do this thing. I mean, I'm not saying this is how y'all view it, but like that's how I look at it now. It's like let's do a thing. Let's have fun while we're doing it, and if something comes out of it, that's tight. Which I was just like, I'm saying I had like 3 pages of notes, I'm saying, like how to make a podcast, bomb from the jump, I'm saying what to do right, what to do wrong. But now I'm just like, I'm here, we're having a little bit of fun, we're just going to discuss, the stuff that we do every day, our views on stuff. And I think it's going to be fun, now that I'm not like thinking of it as like a chore, what I'm saying? It's like something that we can enjoy doing every day. And, because like Stokes saying, like, you go to your job every day, and sometimes it does get a little monotonous. It's like you're doing the same thing 8 hours a day. That can only be fulfilling for so long. But I know Stokes, you have a plan, to I'm guessing, once you get a certain, amount of years, you're going to do something else. But like I'm saying, like I got the same type of plan, like at my job, like I've got, I'm on an investment track, like a 7-year, that way, after 7 years, all my house be paid for, and I can just chill, because I don't want to work till I'm like 50, at least not work like a regular job. Like if I could do this every day with y'all, and just have fun doing it, like that's something that I can look forward to. So, not that I have like a new lease on life, I just like, I like how y'all like explained it, and like, so now we can have fun doing this thing. So that's my take on it. And, if that makes sense, if not.
No,
boo-hoo.
perfect. That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Boo-hoo, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying.
No, that's cool. That's awesome to see, because man, that's what we got to all be together, right? And
Right.
we're definitely together, I think, now, and I think that's cool. I mean, and we're gonna have our differences and have have to work it out, whatever. But yes, at least for that kind of core, we want to definitely be kind of in line, and I think that's where we're at. So yeah, that's what Oblivious is. Oblivious is a couple guys just hanging out together, best friends from a long way back, and just making some good content for you guys to enjoy and take in, and yeah, kind of just see the ride, see how the sausage is made out here. So
I have one question.
Yeah, talk to me.
Can we talk about, I don't know if maybe individually, and maybe this is...
No, come on.
Just what the name Oblivious means to each one of us. Because like I have an idea. I've been thinking about it, and like, because I think, did I come up with it? I honestly don't remember.
Nah,
Who came up with
the
the name?
credit.
That was me, bro.
Oblivious.
That
Was it
me,
you?
bro? Yeah.
Okay. Well, whoever came up with it, whatever. But I have like in my mind of like why Oblivious
okay.
works.
It's like, it wasn't me. Nah, I don't give a damn.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like, I'm still going with this. I'm just saying, okay, I just don't, for some reason, I don't know. I can't tell if you're trolling me. You may have been you. I don't know. I
It
really
was,
don't
bro.
remember. Great.
I'll tell you.
Great. Good job.
Thank
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
But, and I do love
It's on. Listen, whatever it is, it's on record now. So now it's
Right,
facts.
right.
But keep
no, I
going.
know, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, because it was just that one of us said it one day, and then we just kind of stuck with it. Like, 'cause it was a long time ago that we threw out Oblivious before we really started doing this, and it stuck with us. And we never really had a conversation about it, of just like what it means, and like didn't dive deep. I just think it kind of naturally fit for all of us, and so that's why I'm kind of curious, because in my mind, I kind of have an idea of what it means to me, but I'm curious to what it means to you guys.
You want to kick us off first, or you want us to go? What you want?
I can.
Yeah,
I think,
hit me, dude.
and then just everything we've been talking about, it kind of just reinforces it. But just like we are, we are kind of normal people, and like we're just like anybody else. I don't think none of us are bringing in like any sort of huge credits or whatever. Like like we haven't had we're not bringing any fame or whatever to this. Is just us, and we're just making this thing out of nothing. Nobody knows
I think
who
you
we
just
are.
told the audience that I was a professional soccer player, so I don't really know what you're talking about.
Besides that, but like
pretty good
it
at
was short-lived. It was
photography.
very short-lived. It was a long time
Yeah.
ago. People don't remember. But anyways, we're just like normal people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so, I think
Keyword on like.
our discourse as a group has always been very like open, and like, even though we all have like different views on certain things or whatever, we've never, something that I've always treasured about our relationship, and like why I think I like, treasure you guys as people, and then like as friends, and like how it's just like how there's a bit of a humility to our discourse where we don't think it's our way or the highway. We're very like, especially with the four of us, like we're open to dissenting views, and to like, to have a, to say we're wrong to each other, or like entertain the idea, and it's not such a hard, like, and just that dynamic, I think, is so like valuable in relationships, obviously, to be able to,
Of course.
be able to just, say whatever, even if it's negative, positive, everything in between, and always know at the end of the day that relationship is solid. And that's something I think we've always all had. That's a bit of a tangent, but I guess what I'm saying is like what Oblivious means to me is that just kind of humility in our discourse within ourselves. But I think like we just kind of have that in the way we view the world. I know I do. I don't like, I don't feel like I have the answers, for namely in certain situations, easy one to talk about is the political discourse, going on right now. It's Super Tuesday right now, and everyone's polarized and talking about different things and are dug in what they believe and all those sorts of things. Which I'm not saying is necessarily wrong, but I'm just saying there's everyone knows a conversation where you're having with someone where you feel heard and you feel like even if you have a dissenting view, you can discuss. And I think just that humility aspect of our discourse and just our perspective on, life in the world of just kind of like, we know the best we know, we know we're all doing our best. And I think we understand that about other people. And I don't know, the oblivious side of it just kind of hits me in the sense that, when I do look at people that are very sure and just very like 100% and like my way or the highway, I just feel very like I don't understand like that viewpoint. And so I guess in a kind of a silly way, that's where I think about the oblivious coming in and kind of a thematic way, and where I kind of identify it with us. And I'm not saying that's unique to our relationships in general. I'm just saying that's unique to good relationships. And I think, listening obviously being just as important as talking and all those sorts of things. And it's just something I've always super treasured about our relationship, because throughout our entire relationship, it's always been that way since we were sixth grade to now. And it's not like that. And we've all made new relationships where we have, a good relationship with people, and obviously with wanting to create a community. Obviously, with wanting to create a community, we want to create more friends in that same sense. But yeah, I just think. Oh,
sorry, but except for you guys out there listening to it, you guys.
Sure. Yeah. You guys just no new friends before now.
But just you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but just that little humility and that like kind of viewpoint on the world, and to allow yourself to be wrong, or to want to listen to another viewpoint, or maybe not quite understand why things have to be the way they are, I guess, is what that kind of oblivious tag thematically means to me. And I think it's more of just a natural fit in the way I think about it. But I don't know if that made any sense, but that's kind of how I think about it. So
no, that makes perfect sense, and that's a good. I think that's a good topic we can talk about and delve into more. And I think we'll touch on it a little bit for the political episode we'll do pretty soon. But something that's,
and that was just an example. I don't mean just in the political view,
of course,
range, but like
I understand that. But that's a good we're recording this. What's this?
Front of
March
mind.
3rd. Like you said, Super Tuesday right now. So that's what's happened in 2020. But that's a good thing to say, because that's such politics is just such a harsh thing to kind of deal with. It's just hard to. They say never talk. What's it? Religion and politics with your friends, which is just the dumbest thing ever. But whatever, that's what they say.
No, I think that's what your coworkers, fam.
Oh, whatever. Well, I mean, anyone really. I mean, but I guess so. That's like a thing, people are scared of. So it's like, it's cool you hang on to that, because that ties directly back into what we're talking about as far as being connected. And, with Oblivious, we have that connection where we feel like it's always open and we can say anything to each other. And that's super valuable. And that is what we kind of want to put out there and foster as far as the people that we're, talking to. So yeah, I think that's awesome.
And like that, and then just that it's okay to be oblivious sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Like you don't have to know. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? I think that's the main thing I'm trying to get across.
No, that's what I was about to say too. It's like, we're going to see that in our topics that, a lot of times one person will have more knowledge on it and someone else will have less knowledge on it. But I think, it'll be kind of a rotating thing where hopefully the person gains more knowledge, or is able to not necessarily like they need to or they have to, but maybe feel more comfortable to talking about it, or, change their mind on it. That's something I kind of want to do. Like the idea for me in Oblivious and doing this is, and especially specifically with the name, is to maybe bring something to that person, because I want to share things that I like, or things that I want to, talk about, or things that are worth something to me. And I would want, for you guys to be able to experience that. So, we're oblivious until we're not, but then we're always kind of oblivious is kind of what I'm thinking for the name.
Dope. Goob, any thoughts on the name?
I was just like, just thinking about the group chat. It's like someone like always has a little bit more knowledge about something, and then like, somebody maybe just completely oblivious to it, or they're like, oh, okay, I know a little bit about this, but it was just, like how you and Jay, you be talking about, I don't know what the fuck it's called, F-stop, J-stop, fuck whatever. fuck
I know all about F-stops.
Oh, okay. Well, Stokes knows about it. I'm just the only one
Tell
that
him,
doesn't
Jay.
know about F-stops and whatever that shit is. I think we might have lost Jay. And just how Stokes knows, just has this plethora of knowledge about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know about other things other than Final Fantasy, man.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever heard talk about is Final Fantasy. So you can eat it. My obsession with Destiny. And building for my financial future. But we talk about that at a later day. But yeah, just always somebody's gonna be oblivious to like a subject, which is dope, because like our walks of life aren't like 100% different. We all come from the same place, but it's good to have like different opinions on stuff. So that was my thinking behind the Oblivious name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stokes?
I actually was not involved in the Oblivious name picking at all, so I have I am the Oblivious. I was oblivious to the process. I mean, same thing as you guys. I mean, for me, it's just about like we said, like pretty much any topic we talk about, somebody in our group is oblivious. It has no idea what's going on. And that's, I don't know, I think it's dope. And like you guys said, I think it's cool that we all kind of had the humility to recognize that we don't know it all, and we're open to each other's ideas and input, and value each other's input, and hopefully other people do as well. So for me, it's a fitting name, even though I was not at all involved in that process. So yeah,
and we're happy to show up and be oblivious and do you know what I mean? Like, and there's something to say about that. I think, like, obviously within our friend group we are, but like, I don't know, like, I know when I'm not with people that I'm comfortable with, it's pretty intimidating to be oblivious about things and be in a situation that,
no one wants to be that.
No, nobody wants to be that. It's like a very like frowned upon, like, everybody
Except
doesn't want to get caught not know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such the kind of a bit of the culture that we lived in. Like, if you don't know something, you're looked down upon in a situation. If you're in that situation, I don't know, but it's not ever how our relationship have been, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that feel that way too. So that's the kind of vibes we're trying to maintain and foster and whatever. So
that does give me confidence that the name is pretty good, because Stokes did go along with it, and he's like, that sounds pretty good. So I'm like kind of happy about that. Yeah. We got one convert, even though he's on the take, as it were. So
well, I mean, it goes back to like, I mean, everything that we do. I mean, there's all kinds of shit that we're into that like not everybody in this group is into. Yeah, like as Goob says, I'm only into Final Fantasy, but
and not Harry Potter,
and not Harry Potter, and not anything else in life. But I'm just a one trick pony, as it were. But yeah, I mean, as we see it, you guys have kind of supported that. We talked about the idea of a podcast. We talked about. I mean, all of you have gone to like a concert with me, so it's pretty dope, man. I just like how we've always supported each other's ideas and stuff, and so I think it fits.
Oh my God, we're too fucking cute. All right, well, so we've covered who we are. Cutest. We've covered, kind of what the podcast is. So coming up next, we're going to talk about the future of Oblivious, what you guys can expect from us, how we're going to reach out to you out there, your involvement with us, and all those good things. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss a little bit more.
The Oblivious Podcast is brought to you by Chicken Wings. We love wings oh so much, and we'd love to promote your delicious wings right here on the Oblivious Podcast. Dry rub, wet rub, naked, bone-in, boneless, we don't discriminate. So reach out to us today and get your wings advertised right here on the show.
We'd also like to give a shout out to our official artist, Allie McCommon, who does all of our logos, podcast artwork, merch design, etc. Allie does a ton of artwork, including paint, print, digital, and more. Hit her up for commissions of whatever you're looking for. And check out her stuff online at her website at www.AllisonMcCommonArt.com, where you'll find links to all of her social media, Etsy shop, and all that good stuff. Check her out.
And we're back. So next up we have for you guys the future of Oblivious. Kind of giving you out there some expectations and kind of an idea of what we're going to be doing So again, behind the scenes, we're recording these in kind of out of sequence, I guess. We've started with the Star Wars podcast, which you guys will hear from in, eventually future times. And then...
Well, it should be live as soon as this goes live, right? Is that?
Oh, of course. Right. Yeah. So in tandem, right? So Star Wars and the Oblivious Podcast. So our feature is to do basically a main pod, which will rotate between either 4 subjects all brought up by us or one big subject that we talk about together, and then kind of a specialty podcast. So launching with this, our first specialty podcast will be Star Wars. And then Rage mentioned Stokes's Final Fantasy podcast, which will be following up like that. So that's kind of what to expect and kind of the big means of it. But, obviously there'll be other, social media kind of blasts from our Twitters and our Instagrams and stuff like that to kind of get everyone attracted to us and kind of get the word out for us. So that's kind of just a general overview, I suppose.
Rage, you want to tell the people what they can expect with the Star Wars podcast?
Yeah, I think, just going back to that Oblivious theme again, with me being kind of the resident fanboy, as it were, I'll admit it, that I am that dude about Star Wars, and I always go on rants and have conversations with you guys about Star Wars, and so that's kind of what sparked the idea for this podcast. It's kind of a once and for all, my personal apologies when I need to, and reasoning for why it means so much to me. And it's more just sharing something that I care about a lot, and then all of you just care just enough, and more so probably just care about me to listen. But it's fun because obviously Stokes trolls me and has a lot of hot takes, and I just care about it way too much, and I'm just gonna get it all out once and for all, and convince these guys how dope Star Wars really is. But yeah, so we'll just do stuff like that when each of us have a topic or idea, and just have fun with it. So that's a little taste, I guess, of what you can expect. But yeah, I think it's gone pretty well so far.
I want to give a shout out to Stokes' trolls because they're so legendary, and I may be, no, I'm not. It's not over so because he approaches it with the same tone as a normal question, but then at the end of it, that's the troll, and it gets Rage every fucking time.
Every time.
I can smell it like the third word, and it's like
I was so tired at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I was so this ass goob. I was just exhausted.
And then Rage gets blitzed with it, and he's like, "God damn it, how am I here again?" And it's perfect. So you have that to look forward to out there, guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get the sound of Jaurez just like repeatedly smashing the hell out of his Xbox controller. So
it's actually not as noticeable on his mic, but you can hear it every now and then.
Yeah. See, you can only hear it through the Discord, but you can't hear it when I'm recording it. So
okay,
I wouldn't say zero. We can hear it sometimes.
Who's the jackass now?
So given where we are, all in different spots, the podcast is the main thing we're doing, right? That's what we're just kind of rolling with for the moment. Like I said, you'll be able to catch us on socials, tweeting out, getting you guys involved. That's something that we'll have to work on as well, just kind of getting the fan involvement. We, want your feedback. We want your questions, mailbags, all that good shit like that. So that's definitely something that we're going to look forward to because that's what we're saying. We're trying to make a community. We're trying to, get you guys a part of this too. So something else to look forward to as far as things coming from us.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're kind of like bought into the idea of trying to bring the group chat to life, as it were, a bit. And we're going to have some like content ideas of stuff we're going to have fun with. Maybe it's fun, maybe it sucks, whatever. We're just going to have fun with it. And we encourage you guys, if you're listening, which is really cool, to hit us up.
Thank you.
Drop into the DMs, comment, whatever. Comments on the content, things you want to see, things you hated, troll me, or support me. So yeah, we're down. We all have access to the accounts, so we're just it's just us.
Yeah, and building on that, I mean, one of the things I'm trying to do with that Final Fantasy podcast is it's going to be a beginner's guide. I mean, obviously I'm the resident Final Fantasy dude, but some of the other guys in this chat have played it before, and one of them has only played a demo. So it's going to be equal parts for us and equal parts for the listener, just, kind of giving you guys a beginner's guide to the game series, trying to draw you into it and bring you into our conversation about the series, hopefully in some way.
I can't wait, man. I'm so ready.
What game is this?
The Final Fantasy podcast.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, y'all are the only two who have played the 7 remake demo so far, so shout out to y'all.
Ooh,
shouts
clean.
out. It's so good, Stokes.
So
good. I can't understand how it's so good. Yeah, I just they killed it.
I mean, it's, let's see, 23 years later.
Yeah.
And that's the only caveat is that when are we going to get the rest of it? Yeah. But we'll talk about that later, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I think we also got some other ideas that we've thrown around, because we all started this on like video games and stuff. We've talked about possibly streaming and going to Twitch or YouTube or something like that as well. So there'll be a variety of content that we'll be throwing everybody's way. And I think one of the biggest things for us, as Rage said, is just, community engagement, making sure that we're always wanting to expand, what we're doing to everybody else and what you guys are sharing this. So I think that's really one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is, bantering back and forth with people on Twitter, getting into it, into little heated arguments and just answering a mailbag every week and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so I'll to kind of go along with that too, as far as the community goes, we're talking about. It's going to be audio for the longest time, right? We're not made for video at the moment. That's a future thing. However, we want to come where everyone is, right? So podcast services, YouTube, all that shit like that. We're going to push it out to as many places we can get it to. So that you guys out there can listen to it the best way. Some people want to listen to podcasts, some people want to put it on YouTube while they're doing some edits on the computer, something like that. So that's hopes to have it in as many accessible places for you guys out there as possible.
Yup.
Tight.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the future of Oblivious. Keep it locked with us, and it's gonna be a good rise, guys. So we're very excited. But yeah, so how are we feeling? How are we feeling about Oblivious? We're kind of wrap this up here now. Just a little more open talk. Anything else we can kind of really cover up? We can kind of hit on a little teasers for what we got coming up next. Super Tuesday is here. The election and politics is on everyone's mind. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But you guys got anything for me as far as excitedness for the next few weeks?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk Super Tuesday. I think, I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but the next episode is going to be kind of like a Super Tuesday recap. And so, I mean, a little disclaimer for that, a little warning for anybody listening. I mean, if you don't want politics,
we're not pros.
if you don't want politics in your podcast, you need to skip episode 1. Because that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be a recap of Super Tuesday. And I think we'll try to keep it as neutral and level-headed as we possibly can. But, that being said, you're always going to offend somebody when it comes to politics. So just a disclaimer, just to warn people, throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, I think that we'll get into the swing of like the regular podcast show. And, like you said, sometimes that's going to be a one-topic thing. Sometimes that's going to be a 4-topic thing. So that's really what I'm most excited to get into is just to get into a group chat with you guys and everybody bring a topic and let's just go to town. Let's just have some fun talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, man, I think it's a good show to start out with in the very beginning, having a nice politics show, just because, I think it is important, right? We got to be able to get out there and talk about the stuff that really affects us, and being able to express that in a way that's not kind of too in your face, right? Like we're not too deep in it to that. We can't be moved like Rage says, but we do have thoughts on it, and it affects us in a normal person kind of way, and that's the people who have to get out there. So not to get too preachy or anything like that, or tell you guys what to do, but I think it is something that you're going to see that it means to us, and hopefully we can kind of pass it along to you guys. So, and as far as the weekly podcast go, man, the sky's the limit. It's a hodgepodge as far as the things that we kind of go on tangents on, and we can get real deep into it, even when it's kind of a little bit silly. But that's fun though, right? So, I'm looking to the episode where I can only talk about f-stops and nothing else.
Yeah,
let's do an hour of f-stops.
Some little exposure That
a little exposure right
here. That sounds
yeah.
like a photographer term.
Yeah, and so I guess a tease for the Oblivious, or for not the Oblivious, but the Star Wars specific podcast. I mean, that's going to be a one of the longer running series, right? Because they're doing a whole rundown of the movie saga, the Skywalker saga. So that's going to be a long burn for you guys. Which, man, it's got a lot of good stuff in there so far. We're only 3 episodes deep, and it's only going to get better as it goes. So definitely tune into that one. So
yeah. Yeah, those are good. Those are really dope. I'm enjoying those. I mean, we give everybody like a full recap of every Star Wars movie, and I don't know. It's funny just hearing everybody's input. Mostly funny just hearing Rage defend the movies when they're not defendable. But that's
I can defend it till the day I die.
I'm so ready for The Last Jedi because that's the real reason.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't even warmed up yet, and I'm already exhausted.
Because Rage wants The Last Jedi talk out there.
I think Solo's going to be a fun one because it's just I don't really have a strong opinion on it right now, and I need to watch it again. So I think this one's going to be like a more everyone will be maybe on the same playing field of liking it or not liking it. I don't know.
Yeah, Goob hasn't even seen it.
Oh fuck yeah, that's gonna be dope. Let's go.
Or is it?
Oh, it's gonna be dope for sure.
Probably
we got this.
Probably booty.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, we should probably give people our gamer tags too. Nope. Or
No,
hard pass.
hard
pass.
No.
Nah.
Well,
Oh damn. You know what? There you go. That idea.
maybe
was,
that'll be a Patreon tier someday.
that idea got up and then it got crushed real quick.
No, buddy.
but it's not a bad segue into the next part, which is inviting everybody to participate in our mailbag. So yeah.
Yeah. So and you'll get the we'll give you shout outs and all that stuff like that as we go through the episodes. But yeah, we definitely want your input. You guys can get us at obliviouspod@gmail.com. But as we go, you get all the info and we'll kind of like I said, bring you in and man, ask anything, weird stuff, good stuff. Ask why War what kind of controller Juarez is using over there while he's playing his video games.
Not playing a video game.
Audience involvement is always going to be a big thing for us. So yeah. But yeah, man, we've covered a lot, guys. This is Oblivious. We're here. We're trying to make some good stuff with each other that we enjoy, something that we're proud of. That's something I didn't get to say. I want to make something I'm proud of, and I think with you guys, we can really make it happen. Everyone's got a good head and a lot of passion for everything, and that's something that we can really put out there and make it as something that's fucking awesome. So, anybody else got anything for me?
It's already fucking awesome, Dennis.
Hey, let's go.
I like that energy.
Hey.
Well, if that's it, then this is Oblivious. Stay tuned for everything we got for you. This is just the first. We'll have the Star Wars podcast coming up. Look out for that. Following that, we'll have the we got some political stuff happening as well. Oh man, it's gonna be weird trying to point people into the right direction because I'm recorded because we recorded this early, so I gotta make sure I get that down. But yeah, so if you're listening to my voice, once you finish this, jump to the next one or jump over to the Star Wars podcast. But keep it locked with us. We got plenty of things coming in. Hit us up. We want to know what you think. Let us know how we're doing, what we need to change. Tell us that we're awesome. That's always great. For Stokes, for Rage, for Goob, I'm Jay. This is Oblivious. And we out.
Goob, you missed your cue.
Oh, my bad. What was I supposed to say?
You're supposed to make a straight tactical voice clip or some other Goobism to close it out.
My bad. I thought I was going to use the one I already had. I got it on file. I'll just give it to you and let you chop it up.
Just give me something right now. 3, 2, 1. Damn.
The Oblivious Podcast is brought to you by Chris Rowland, Dustin Stokes, LaQuinza Morgan, and me, Jay Johnson. We write, produce, and host all content. The show is recorded remotely from Meridian, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, and Chicago, Illinois. To contribute to the show or just to say hello, you can find us at obliviouspod.com. There you will also find a link to our Patreon. Our email is obliviouspod@gmail.com, Instagram @obliviouspod, and Twitter @obliviouspod1. To contact us individually, you can find us on Twitter @RageArcan, @LaQuinza, and @ObliviousStokes. I'll be on Instagram @Chuki.